everyone, it's Mrs. Hollero here for your POW question. All right, so let's have a look at the question. So I'll read it out to you. So checkmates. 6 people participate in a checker tournament. Each participant played exactly 3 games with each of the other participants. How many games were played in all? Okay, so the first thing that I like to do is point out the numerical values and what they represent. So for example, the first part here, we've got 6 people and they played 3 games each. Okay, so if we had the 6 people, we could give them all names, but just to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to name them A, B, C, D, E, and F. Okay, so we've got 6 people there. Now, these 6 people are going to have a tournament and they're going to play a game with 5 of these other people, not 6 people because they're not going to play a game against themselves. So they're going to play against 5 other people. So if I was to represent that in a tree diagram, so person A is going to verse person B and also person C, person D, E, and person F. All right, I'm going to move it over a little bit just so that there's space. So person C will also verse person A, B, D, E, and F. And we can do that for all of them. So if you were to draw out the whole thing, it would look like what's been prepared earlier, this tree diagram here. Okay, so if we were looking at this tree diagram, we can see that there's 6 groups. And each of those 6 groups have 5 in them, so 5 possibles. So what that means is we've got 6 groups times 5 games, which equals 30. So 30 games or pairings. Okay, so if we've got 30 pairings, however, if we look at the list here, so we can actually see that the pairings are actually repeated. So one example of that is we've got A and B, which is repeated here, B and A, or same thing, A and B. So it's literally the same thing, just switch positions. If we look at another one, we've got A and C, A and C. And let's look at one more, A and F, F and A. Okay, so it's repeated the whole way through. So because it's repeated, they're all put down twice here. You could go through and just double check them all, but they are all done twice. So if they are all done twice, then that means we're going to divide it, the 30 pairings, divided by 2, because we've got, they've all doubled up. So if we divide it by 2, then that is 15 pairings. Okay, so now that we've got 15 pairings, we know that there was 15 possible pairs, possible people that they have first, each person has first. So now what we're going to do is we'll come back to the question, and it says that they have played 3 games each per pairing. So if they've played 3 games per pairing, so that means we're going to do 15 pairings times 3 games each, which equals 45 pairings. So in total, there was actually 45 pairings or 45 games played. So you can see here that I've shown my working out in both the tree diagram, well, part of it at the top, but the rest of it is down here. So a combination of a diagram as well as mathematical numerical sentences. I've just added some words there, right? So just to make it clear, you could just put the numbers straight through. So for example, you could have just done the 6 times 5, which equals 30. And then the 30 divided by 2, which equals 15. And then the 15 times 45. Oh, sorry, 15 times, what was it? 15 times 3. 15 times 3 equals 45. Okay, so you could have just had it numerical, but it's a lot better if you actually write out at least part of what these numbers represent, so that the person knows what you're talking about in this case. So hopefully that helped. Thank you. Bye.
Come on, Rocky, let's go.